Hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining me again. Back to House Flipper, part 3. Back in the house, and we finished the kitchen in the last episode. Now we gotta decide which room's next. This weird one. What's on the ceiling? I don't remember touching the sledgehammer. I could have. Not sure. But yeah, we'll get rid of that. This is another video minus audio. Again, I tried, and just too much dead air. Too many minutes of silence. Oh, I wish I could do it. I really do. So this is the adjacent room. I'm wondering about that wall that looks like a closet. Maybe we could do something with that. And this looks like the bathroom. I'm thinking maybe we could do the bathroom today. And I lost a door. I realized that a little bit too late. I forgot about it the last time when we were outside doing the paneling. And that kitchen wall went through, so I'm just checking to make sure it didn't do it on the outside of the house. I don't know why that happened, because when you're putting the tiles up, it automatically places them. I have so many perk points that it's difficult to get just one stripe. I'm thinking what would look good in this room is a door wall, a sliding glass door. So that's what I'm looking for at this point. And they're difficult. The new doors, and I haven't really messed with the windows yet, but the new doors, some of them are really narrow. And I don't know how to fit them in, because I think if you put another block of cinder there, it'll be too small. I'll have to work on that maybe off camera, see if I can't figure it out. Because some of these doors are nice. I don't mind them, but yeah, I think that would look kind of neat there. Instead of a door, just go on out to the back patio and barbecue. Or sit in a chair and read. So that's what I'm doing at this point. Just trying to figure out a good place to put it. You have to think about where you're going to put the furniture. I know, well, I guess most everybody still has a TV, but they don't use it the way they used to use it. So I think that's a good spot. So I'm going to put it there. And for the longest time, I could not figure out how this worked. You put the window in, and then it asks you to sledgehammer the space, and then the window disappears, so you got to get the window back. Then you put the window or the door in. It's very confusing. I was also stumped by the amount of dirt on the wall. I cut it out because it took me about a half hour to figure out what was going on, and I never really did. But it said you need tiles for this. So I'd get the outside tiles, and I couldn't place them. So I put the tiles away. I went back to that dirt spot, and it said you need plaster for this. So I bought some plaster, and nothing happened. I couldn't put anything down. So I thought, okay, well, I'll paint it white. So I bought a can of white paint. It wouldn't let me paint it. So I'm very confused. I don't know if the game is glitching out on me, or if because that hole was already there, it was going to be covered up by the door. They just figured, why bother? I don't know. I'm not sure the game is all that sophisticated. So at this point, I'm still trying to decide which room, and I go for the bathroom. I'm just not sure what I want to do with those last 3 rooms. And obviously a bathroom is rather simple to deal with. And I do like tile. I know people, a lot of people I see in videos and even in real life have wood in their bathroom. For the life of me, I will never understand that. Unless it's like chemically treated, which I don't want anywhere near me. I can't imagine any type of wood lasting very long with constant splashing on it. And it doesn't eliminate odors and germs. It saturates. It just saturates through the wood. So I don't understand the concept of putting wood in a kitchen or a bathroom. And I mean on the walls. I just don't get it. And I thought wood was out, so I'm confused there too. Everybody likes hardwood floors, and I get that, but I don't think they're real hardwood floors. I think it's fake stuff that's just loaded with chemicals. I'm going full tile. It's too small. I'm thinking about dampness and all that other stuff. And yes, I'm going boring vanilla white here because, again, it's a very tiny room. It's not an upscale house. Now, you see how that tile went through the wall? I'm worried, very worried that it's going to show up in another room or outside. I don't know, but I don't have a choice. That's where it's telling me to put it. Yikes. I hope it works. I hope I'm not messing too much up. I don't normally do this on the windows, but again, as small as this room is, and I know I'm thinking too realistically, but the moisture level in this room would be astronomical. You would want every single inch of it covered in a safe. Yep, see? Went through again. And that's what it told me to do, so I'm confused. Now I gotta wonder, if I paint that other room, are you gonna do the same thing? Maybe I should try harder to move the mouse away and see if that doesn't help. I'm just going where it's telling me to go and pressing the button. And maybe that's not the way to do it. I struggled with the items that go in the room. I'm not a huge fan of tubs. But I'll tell you this much, if I were ever to be in a hotel room, that would be the one thing I would want to do, is just soak. Of course, I'd make sure I was clean first. That's the problem I have with tubs. Hey, I remember back in the day when I was very young, I could not get over the fact that women shaved their legs in the bathtub. Bubble bath inside the tub. And they just raise their foot up and start shaving their leg. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Ugh. It used to be in movies and everything, and I'm like, that is so gross. So I don't know that anybody does that anymore either. Strange things, strange habits. It's kind of funny. But it's nice that they're preserved. We can see that. I had no idea how this thing worked, but I was fascinated by it until I realized, oh, those are doorknobs. No, they're not. They're the things that go into the wall. So I was very confused. It was backwards. I just couldn't find anything that fit so that it didn't hit the door. And this seemed to do the trick, so I thought I would go for that. But I know I have to install the plumbing first. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to get in the way of the door entry on that side. And I really couldn't remember where most things were in this room originally, but I usually don't like their setup because that's another thing. I am so sorry. This just drives me nuts. And if this is how your house is set up, this is not, I'm not dogging on anyone. I'm just stating strangeness that I see that seems very odd to me because I'm not used to it. But it usually more often happened in The Sims, but I'm noticing it when I'm watching videos of House Flipper 1 and 2 as well. people tend to put a bathtub in against a wall and then directly next to it. And I mean, there's like maybe an inch or two between the tub and the toilet. So where you're laying back in the tub with your head against the wall, right next to your head is the toilet. It's just like, that is so gross. No, that's gross. So I try to avoid that. I think that's hilarious. Every time I saw that in a Sims 4 build, I'm like, why? Why do you do that? The other thing I noticed too that I thought was really weird, people put the towel rack so that the towel is about a centimeter off the floor. They just put it so low on the wall. It's like, are you a toddler? Every towel rack I have ever seen, even in hotels, I'm sorry, they're at like nose level, right? And I'm 5'3". The towel's nowhere near the gross floor. The same thing with the toilet paper. They either put it way up high so that you have to reach up to grab it, or they put it right at the baseboard on the floor. I don't get it. I wasn't sure if there was laundry in here, and I was kind of disappointed that the dryer was separate. I thought that they had stackers in this game, and I couldn't find them anywhere. So I had no idea. I went with a washer. I did eventually try to put the drying rack in here, and it just wouldn't fit. I was very disappointed. So yes, I have my toilet near the window and on the opposite side of the body cleansing area. The sink was another one. I wasn't sure at this point what I wanted to get. I only knew I wanted it to have like cabinet space so that we could have more storage. But I did not want the door interfering with it. So at that point, I'm like, well, I hope this is good enough. I mean, I can always rip it out and try again, but it's kind of strange that, well, you know what? I could have bought the cabinet first, set it up on the wall, and then tried to eyeball it with the plumbing, but I didn't think to do that. And again, this is all standard. Everything's white. Hope you don't mind. Well, no. I went into the accessories and I did more of my pastel rose stuff. But the towels and all that are white. And I've got to get rid of the thought that, well, you're just selling it, so it's kind of like staging. So you wouldn't go with any color because the person, your potential buyer, might hate that color, and then that would be one thing. One purple towel hanging off a rack in the bathroom will kill the deal. You never know. Oh man, when I was in real estate, that always blew my mind as well. I just couldn't get over the fact that when you walked people through a empty house, they would sit there and ponder, and I mean sometimes for a half hour. I just don't know, where's my dining table supposed to go? Where am I? And I'm like, the dining room is right there. I told you this is the dining room. It's right off the kitchen. And they just can't see in their mind. It's really strange. But what's worse is when you take them through a furnished home. And again, they just stand there near the front door going, well, my sofa's not that big. Where are we going to put our TV? And it's like, this stuff isn't staying. You do realize that, right? It's going to be empty when you move in. It's just weird. It's like, come on now, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Now open your eyes again. And think what you want. Not what you see, but what you want. And of course, you couldn't talk that way to them because you'd come off as being very rude. And I wasn't being rude. I was just confounded. It's like, I'm sorry, I just don't know where you're headed with this. What? How can you not see? Oh, well. That's not why I didn't last in the real estate business, believe me. I could not bring myself to do cold calls. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I am not a salesperson. And every walk-in that came through, one of the upper crust agents, would just saunter past my desk and go, "See you later." Ugh. It was one of those, this is not a put down, but Japanese type thinking where the higher up you are, the more you get, and the lower down you are, well, sorry, you're going to have to go through the same crap that I went through. It was that mentality, and that's another thing I don't understand. I just don't understand. Can't we all just share? No, that's not how it works. But yeah, I could not do cold calls. And I remember every day my boss would open the door around 8 o'clock at night, and he'd look over all the cubicles right at me. How many cold calls today? 2. I talked to my mom for a half hour. I just couldn't do it. So, that was the end of that career. I was a jack of all trades and master of none, let me tell you. See, this is what I was talking about earlier with the door. First of all, I'm not aware that there's an option to put glass in the door. It is a bathroom. I don't know why you would want glass on the door. But I liked this style. I thought it was interesting. So I messed around with it for a little bit just to see if I could make it look decent. Trying to match the rim wood to the one we had in the kitchen. And look. Now, if you put it there, it doesn't look like there's enough room to put another row of those cinder block things. Does it? That's where I wanted it anyway. But I'm like, wow, I don't know how to do this. Do I put it on that side and try it? Put it on the other side? That might be the case. I think if I had just put another set of cinder blocks up, that door might have fit. But I didn't want to mess with it. I just went with the larger door because the hole's already there. And I tried to match up the design that I had before because I liked it, but I was worried that it wasn't going to go with the trim that I had put in the kitchen. But I think it's close enough. I don't know why they do that. It's just like The Sims 4. They'll give you a tile in a certain color, but they won't give you a matching one for the wall. Or they'll give you a nice color for the wall, and then there's nothing that goes with it. This game kind of does the same thing. Yes, they have a lot of matchy-matchy, but if you deviate one step away from one group to another, forget it. So at this point, I was trying to find something to replace the dryer that we couldn't install. And I came across these. They were cute. But I did go with the rose and the white. And I do switch this up. I originally thought it should go over the toilet. But then I thought, well, is that gross or not? I don't know. Lots of people have things hanging over there. We have a shelf. And it's full of my mother's tchotchke, glass little figurines. So I put that one there, the hand towel. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, the shower, yeah. It's not close enough, but it is close enough, kind of, sort of. So I moved it like that, and then I thought, well, wait a minute. I really want something to see if we can get the clothes dried. And as you can tell, maybe not, I'm still struggling to find where do I click to find what I need. Rugs, mirrors. I think it's a little bit more organized than it was the last time I went through it. But it's still a bit of a mind fog. When I come in here, I'm like, what am I doing? I know what I want. And then I completely forgot the search bar. So I used the search bar. I thought this was cute. I kind of like that with the little critters on it. I just can't really tell where the shower door ends and where it begins. So I put 2 of those down. I thought they were cute. And I got them small enough this time. What was I saying? Probably nothing. Oh, my back is killing me. Did I put yes, we put the radiator in. I kind of like that standing one. And I thought originally, maybe they got rid of it, but I thought that they had one that stood up against the wall that you could hang towels on. Or maybe somebody who was playing the game said they used it as a towel rack. I don't know. That sounds dangerous to me. But in this country, at least in our area, the Midwest, North Midwest, we don't have these in our house. We have forced air, just a furnace in the basement with a bunch of vents all over the house. And that's how we get our heat and our air conditioning. It seems like it would be so much cheaper to use radiators. Back in the day, everybody had radiant heat. I remember that because Grandma's house had it. But it went from radiant heat to baseboard, which is just hot water flowing through the house, through pipes, and the baseboard was all along the bottom of every room. And I thought that would be cheaper too, but you do have to heat it with gas the same way you would a furnace. So, and yes, I cannot forget my ugly Venetian blinds. They're so hard to keep clean. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the laundry. I'm disappointed. Didn't this game used to have a stacking washer and dryer? Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but I thought I went up and down, scrolled, and I just didn't see it. I think I saw 2 washers and 1 dryer. But this is just too big. When you open the door, it peeks through. I tried putting it on top of the washer and it didn't work. Kind of disappointed. So yeah, you open the door and peekaboo, it's sticking right through. Can't have that. So, oh well. Now, another thing too, I don't know if I'm getting a house flipper 2 confused with 1, but I thought you could put toilet paper on the toilet rack. And I couldn't even find toilet paper unless I was just looking in the wrong spot. So instead of having something to dry your laundry with, I put that there. Maybe in the gardening DLC there's a laundry, like a drying, what is that called? Clothesline. Maybe there's a clothesline I could put one outside. And then I kept thinking, well, is it possible to be able to put that somewhere else? And that just seems, I don't know, maybe not a good idea if you're trying to sell. And not a very good idea if you put it in like a bedroom and then it's dripping all over the floor. Yuck. No, not a good idea. So this is about it. I couldn't think of anything else to do. I did put the air vents up there, one for the shower dryer area, just to get the steam, and the other side for the toilet. Oh gosh, the plants. Can't forget the plants. Why can't I put one on this windowsill? See, this is what I'm saying. Is my game glitched out, or I could have swore I used to put plants on windowsills in almost every room, and it won't let me, even a little one. It just wouldn't let me put anything up. And I thought you could. I could have swore you could put flowers on windowsills. So you're welcome to let me know in the comments, am I doing something wrong, or no, that's just, maybe there are changes over the 2 years. I'm not aware of them. So that's our bathroom all done. So we are down to 3 rooms left. It could be 2 bedrooms and a very spacious living room. It could be 1 bedroom, very spacious living room, office. But I don't know. Looking at the people who are on our left, we got Grandpa and Grandma, that scary looking family, and that guy who always wants an office. And then that huge family with the even scarier looking mom. And then that gal at the bottom, all she cares about is artwork, artwork, artwork. The more art you put in a room, the better off you are. And this might be the house for her. Maybe I could give her a studio and just cover it in artwork in the front. Give her the bedroom in the back and a nice fancy living room for entertaining. Maybe she would like that, the one on the bottom there. But we'll have to see. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end, and I do hope you enjoyed this. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're interested. Take really good care of yourselves. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.